team, this is a video for our Discord Premium members who have got access to the full indicator suite from Trinity. So this is just a quick recap now that I've got my mic issues resolved, and hopefully my voice is coming through clear and loud on this video. But again, we made that video earlier today just explaining the previous day breakout indicator. But one of the things that I wanted to do for the premium members on Discord is explain 2 of additional indicators that I like to use with this setup. So currently just now I'm actually using cumulative volume delta candles. This is actually available both for Heiken Akashi and for standard. So for the purpose of this video, I'm actually just going to use standard candles, but I normally use the Heiken Akashi for the smooth candles, but this is okay for this setup. So we talked about this previously today, is the previous day opening range. Essentially we take a position when either the previous day high or the previous day low is broken or breached, and we enter on that side of a trade with a trend. So we either go down or we go up. And we talked about the background changes based on the direction of where the breakout takes place. If you get a previous day high breakout, it changes green background. If it breaks the previous day low, it changes to a red background to show bearish. And then if you're range trading, it just changes to white essentially. So it just shows that you are in a range. So 2 things that I wanted to talk about tonight is let me just make sure I'm picking up the right one here. It's not this one, sorry guys, I'm just waiting. Oh, it's this one here. So Trinity Cipher Pro that I wanted to enable. We'll get the opportunity to talk about some of the other indicators later. So here we have our standard Trinity Cipher Pro. So once it's enabled, you get your sell diamonds and you get your buy diamonds. And you also get some divergence labels as well. So you can see bearish divergence, get bullish divergence. But when I'm looking at the signals and I'm trying to use Trinity with the trend, is what's the difference between taking a trade here and taking a trade here? Is I've got my previous day low break and I've got my sell diamond and it's below the cloud. So could I take a position here? Yes, you could. And this one would have actually worked out pretty well. Or it would have been better to wait here and then you've got the confirmed trend afterwards. But what's the difference between the signal here and the signal here? Well, I'm going to show you another indicator that I use that's available to our Discord Premium members. And it's this indicator here. Now, don't be overwhelmed by taking a look at this indicator because I know it's got a lot of information here, but I'm going to break it down for everyone so you actually understand it. And it's actually a phenomenal indicator that is going to become your new best friend, essentially. So this indicator here is called the Trinity Ultimate MTF RSI. So it's a multi-time frame RSI, and also within this indicator we've got the cumulative volume delta, and we've also got the EMAs as well. So I'm going to go back up here for a second, and I just want to show here in the background we've got our EMA ribbons. So these EMA ribbons are best on these settings here, and we go from a 5 EMA all the way to a 200 EMA, and we can turn these off if needed as well. So that way I'm just showing a 5 to 50 EMA. So I know that when I'm under the ribbon and I've got a sell signal, that's a good solid trade to enter. But how do I use this indicator below to go with it? So I'm going to explain this one because this one is an incredible, powerful indicator. So first of all, let's go up, and I'm going to take off a few things here so you can see it clearly. in this form here, we've disabled some of the settings and we've actually just turned it to a standard RSI. However, it's an RSI with an EMA ribbon as well. And if you look at the EMA ribbon here, it actually matches the EMA ribbon up here as well. So when this RSI crosses this EMA ribbon, you know that you're in a bearish trend. Now, this RSI is a little bit different from other RSIs. You do have your upper and lower levels with regards to being oversold or overbought. However, for this particular RSI version, I'm using Bollinger Bands here. So here I can see that I've crossed the lower Bollinger Bands, so I'm bearish. When I'm crossed with the top Bollinger Bands, I know I'm actually bullish. And there's special settings that I'm going to show on how to actually trade with this indicator, working with our Trinity Cipher. So if I take a look at this one here, this signal here that I talked about earlier, was this a signal, better signal than this one? The short answer is no. Is this one here, you can see I'm still inside the EMA clouds, I'm not below it, and the RSI is still green at this stage. So although this one would have been like a mixed signal, you could have entered, you can see it bounce back, and depending upon where you entered here, you may have actually been taken out or hit a stop loss. So this one here would have been a much better signal to take because you're under the EMA ribbon, and again, take a look at the RSI here, and it's under the ribbon and it's under the Bollinger Band as well. Now, I'm going to start talking about the other indicators, other parts of this indicator. So now I'm going to enable the higher time frame RSI. So this one is set up for auto. So when I'm on the 10 minutes, it's going to automatically bring in the 1 hour RSI. And this is insanely powerful because I've done a lot of back testing and absolutely conclusively proven that if you look at the higher time frame and you trade with a higher time frame, you're going to get more likelihood of winning trades than you're not. So the higher time frame RSI is now being populated onto this indicator, and it's with this orange line here. And you can clearly see that when I go below this line, it's bearish. And again, when it goes below this line, I'm bearish. So it means, hey, this RSI, the current RSI is actually going below the higher time frame RSI. So I know that I'm actually in a really bearish trend at this point. So this one is an absolutely phenomenal trade and entry to go and take. And let me just pick up AMD because it was pretty bullish today, and we'll show what AMD looked like. So we can see AMD with the Trinity buy signal down here, and we can see exactly what I'm talking about is that the current time frame RSI crosses over the higher time frame RSI, and you get that signal before the big candle breakout. So you would have actually taken that trade, entered, and you would have actually gained, like I did this morning. It was about a 90% win that I took this morning with AMD, and I closed the trade at the top here. And again, you can see when it turns bearish, you've got that crossover, and you can actually take these signals as well if you wanted. If it was actually below the EMA ribbon, you could have actually taken that and actually taken it down. Now let me just take a look at another one. Let's take a look at Circle. You can when you start seeing this indicator clearly and you fully understand it, you understand the power of it. Sell signal here, you're under the higher time frame RSI, you're under the EMA ribbons, both. This is turned red. That's a phenomenal trade all the way down for options trading. I mean, you can't get any better than that. However, you can. I'm going to go into this indicator for a second. I'm going to go down to the bottom. Oh yeah, another thing as well about this indicator, we've also got divergences I've turned off. But I'm actually going to enable cumulative volume delta. So within this indicator, we've actually got a CBD, and it's a proportional cumulative volume delta that's actually built into it. And what's cool about this is we know exactly when there's more buyers or sellers or buyers in the market when the CBD also changes. So this point here on Circle, we can see there's buyers in the market, but we can actually see when it crosses over here, this also turns red. So when I take a look at this trade here, perhaps would not be the best one to be entering because CVD is still bullish at that point. But when you see cumulative volume delta also turn red, then that would have been a fantastic entry to get into that candle there. And just to prove out how this actually works is, let's take a random look. Actually, AMD, since it was bullish today. So we can see AMD, cumulative volume delta. Although you were getting some sell signals down here, there's been buyers all the time. So this is actually one of these situations where the market, I would say retail's selling, because you can see the RSI is below the higher time frame RSI. So you may be thinking, okay, I'll get into that trade. But look, cumulative volume delta is actually bullish all the way along here. So this is actually just showing you that the market's trading sideways, and this is a no trade zone. And at the same time as well, that you know that when these are actually selling, that someone's actually buying all the shares of AMD. So this is all getting bought up as well. So it means that probably on the black pools, is that normally the institutions are buying in the background when retail's selling. So RSI may be going down, but everything's actually getting bought up. So you know that actually AMD is bullish because of the CVD line, essentially. Then you get to the stage here where it flips. You go back over the EMA ribbons and you get that breakout as well. So this is the setup that I recommend for the options traders. And this setup is also applicable to crypto as well. But again, I'm going to go back down to our setup with regards to our opening range breakout. We'll add that back in. I've got my buy signal here with AMD. I've got my RSI flipped over, my higher time frame RSI. Cumulative volume delta is also bullish as well. Phenomenal trade to get into. And just one last one. I'll give an example. Let's take a look at QCOM. Qualcomm. So here you've got your opening range. You've got your previous day low down here. And when you get that break of the previous low, how do you know it's a good place to enter? Again, by looking down here. You can see that the RSI is already crossed over the higher time frame RSI, and your cumulative volume delta is also turned red as well at this point. And this is already below the EMA ribbon as well. So this is, again, another good place to enter the options trade. And you would, I'm guessing at this point, but you'd probably be getting about 40 to 50% gain on those 2 or 3 candles as that goes down. And that setup works across everything. I mean, literally, I'm just going to go and pick one CRM. Let's take a look today. CRM, previous day low is up here. You're in the opening range. You've got a retest of the previous day low. You've got your sell signal here. And your current RSI is below your higher time frame RSI, and your CBD is also turned red as well. So you would have entered on this candle, and that would have probably been over 100% gain on options today. So these are the 2 indicators that I would suggest for the Discord Premium members to have, especially for trading options. But just for the sake of the people who trade crypto, I'm going to turn off this one, and I'm just going to go and take a look at crypto. So let's take a look at crypto and how this actually works in crypto, this setup. So I know that ICP today was a little bit bearish, and we can see ICP. We've got a buy signal down here, but if you take a look, the current RSI is not over the higher time frame RSI, and it doesn't break over that higher time frame RSI until this point here. So I would have got a buy signal here. I would have delayed buying into that until I've seen a confirmation that I was actually entering, but it was actually breaking a higher time frame RSI, and at this point here would have been probably a good entry, and then you could have taken this trade, I would say here, and that would have been like a 8% gain on ICP on the 10-minute time frame. Now, does this also work on a 1 hour time frame? Well, let's take a look. The short answer is it does. You've got a buy signal down here. There's your higher time frame RSI. Your CBD is bullish, and then your current RSI is also over that as well. And you're over the EMA ribbons on both the RSI and the current RSI. So you could have entered here on a swing trade with ICP. So see, entered at this point, and that would have been a, call it a 30% win for ICP. So this setup works for both for options trading and for swing trading as well, and it works across Forex, stocks, and crypto. So hopefully that was educational, folks, and remember, and add these indicators, the Trinity Ultimate MTF RSI, and then the ones that I previously talked about today. And let's get into some good trading with this setup, and hit me up with any questions.